upside down in a trash can. And then he just turns and looks, and it's just a line of people with that little foam plate. And just everybody's sad. I just hear someone in the back go like, I set my alarm for this. I mean, 2 guys didn't have shoes on. They go, I ran down with no shoes in that elevator. I thought I was going to miss it. My parents are in their 60s. And when your parents hit their 60s, just so you know, you kind of realize that you go, all right, I'm in charge of this family now, you know? They don't give it up. They don't offer it away. They just start doing stuff that you're like, I don't, you know. We went to the store the other day, and we walked back to the car. We were in the store for an hour. We walked back. The driver's side door is wide open. He drove, opened the door to go inside, and just kept walking. He's been driving for 50 years. And I know cars are getting crazy, but one thing that stayed the same in all these 50 years is you got to open and shut that front door. My dad wore my mom's pants to a funeral. That was the day that I was like, look, we can't listen to this guy no more, you know? We got to go get him. He doesn't know what's happening. It usually starts happening when you start doing the holidays at your house instead of your parents' house. That's when it starts happening. And so my parents, once we did that, they downsized into a 2-bedroom townhome. So they still want to do Thanksgiving at their house, but they don't have the room for us. There's like 20 of us. It's like a college kid being like, you want to do Christmas in my dorm room? There's a table for 4, and then they have to put a train of TV trays and nightstands that just weaves down this hallway. I mean, you're sitting on stairs. We made the kids go eat in the car. We just go back in the car. You can't even eat inside. My mom didn't have ketchup. I was like, everybody just has ketchup. It just comes in houses. If I went to some alcoholic's house, he would have ketchup. His whole family would be gone, but I would say, do you have ketchup? He'd be like, I'm not that gone, man. So I grew up in the 80s and 90s. I was a kid in the 80s and 90s. And during the 80s and 90s, kids were getting kidnapped pretty rapidly. And look, I'm not trying to say we were more desirable or something. I think we were outside more. A lot more opportunity, you know. Also a lot easier to get us into vans. Didn't take much. And so parents back then, they would watch TV, and I think it would scare the parents. You know, you realize like now everything's a crime show. Everything that you watch is crime, podcasts are crime, movies are crime. You almost like see it so much. But back then, you only had so many channels. And then when they would watch these shows, they were very powerful shows. My parents used to watch a show called Rescue 911. And it would just show reenactments of crimes. And it was powerful. I've seen 3 seconds of Rescue 911. I remember walking through the living room. My parents are watching it. I look at the TV. A guy has a ski mask on, and a woman is asleep with her feet out from under the covers, and he started rubbing her foot. That's all I saw. I kept walking. I don't know what happened before or after, but I know I've never been able to sleep with my feet out from under the covers because I accidentally saw that 30 years ago. And my feet get so hot, and I want to put them out so bad. I mean, I try it every night for 30 years, and then that image pops in my head, and I yank them right back under. I'll be in a hotel room, and I'm like, look, you can't get in here, dude. You've locked everything. And I'm like, that's exactly what he's been waiting for. He's probably already in here. So my parents, I think, watched a Rescue 911 where a kid went missing. So it got them scared. They were like, I think they took it as like, look, you guys are getting kidnapped. There's nothing we can do. It's happening. So they wanted us to be prepared for it. So instead of like, I don't know, self-defense, give us a gun, I don't know, something. What they did was like, you know, you always hand out flyers if a kid goes missing. They were like, let's just get that flyer ready. We'll just do that, you know. So if a kid goes missing, they always have a flyer. They put a picture of the kid and all the information below the flyer. So the height, weight, eye color, all that stuff. So instead of making a flyer, what they made us do was we wrote on a piece of paper our name, height, weight, eye color, and then we just held it up against a wall, and they just took a picture of us. So the picture is us holding our own information. And they said, well, when the cops are like, hey, let's get a flyer ready, we're going to be like, well, we've been rooting for this to happen. We already have one made. And they're like, we'll give that to the police. Which, if we would have been kidnapped, my parents would be in prison right now. No one's going to believe you pre-took pictures. I mean, they're going to just look at this and be like, all right, just tell us where the kids are at. That would be the easiest thing to do. I've never seen this ever. They had to go get that printed at Walmart, too. You couldn't do that at home. You had to go show people that you're crazy. We walked in Walmart, and the guy was probably like, hey, do you think I could talk to your kids by themselves for a little bit? I'd love to just chat with them. So I'm married as well. And me and my wife just celebrated our 14th wedding anniversary. And thank you. We've been together for 20 years. And I met her before I ever started comedy. We both worked at Applebee's together, is where we met. We're big fans. We're big Applebee's fans, still to this day. Hold on. Let me just look. It feels like, yeah, that's a good one. How many, are they not all doing the same job? You know, like, wouldn't they just be like, well, I'm already over here, so you don't got to come over here, you know? That's what it seems like they should do. They should talk more and go, I'm over here. And he goes, oh, okay, I didn't realize you were over. He's like, yeah. So don't go, I'll stay over here and you stay over there. That's like our main thing, is that we can stay right here, you know? All right. So my wife and I, we met at Applebee's. And before I ever started comedy, I was a host and she was a server. And someone asked her recently, they said, hey, do you think, did you ever imagine when you started dating that your lives would become all that it's become? And she said, well, when I met him, he was a host, and I didn't think he was smart enough to be a server. So, yeah, we've got a little bit farther than I expected, you know? I told her I want to be a server one day, and she's like, you keep dreaming that dream, all right? I think if you try hard, you can get that menu memorized. Me and my wife, so I'm the dreamer of our group. You know, I feel like in a marriage, you have one of you is a dreamer. You know, money's not real. Let's have fun. Let's go do fun stuff as much as we can. And the other person hates fun. And that's how you make a marriage. You can't have two dreamers. You're going to be homeless in an hour. You need someone that just walks around. Is fun happening? I'd like to put a stop to that. Are y'all having fun? Stop it. Is the air conditioner on? Turn it off. I married my dad, is who I married. My dad, who I thought air conditioning cost $100,000 a day to run it. When we would be on car rides, I thought if you turned it on, your car exploded. Like just gas, you were out. We're out immediately. Did someone turn the air conditioner on? My wife's always around, too. I feel just always like near, you know, especially about home. It's like I married a cat that I'm like, you just always on me. If I do if I go to the bathroom, she's like, I'm going to paint the bathroom door while you're in there. I'm like, you couldn't do it later? No, I had all the time to do it. I thought I'd wait till you went in, and that's when I was going to start. If I eat something she doesn't approve of, she just pops up, man. I mean, I'll try to sneak it. I could eat an Oreo cookie in the attic at 3 a.m., and I would bet my life a light would cut on, and she'd be like, what are you doing up here? And if I questioned it, it was like, what are you doing up here? She's like, I'm always up here. This is when I do my attic stuff. She put Life 360 on my phone. That's so they can track you even when they're not near you. You might not even know you have it on your phone. It's worse than what the government's doing. I would rather the government track me than her. She just calls me, why are you at Krispy Kreme donuts? I'm like, look, I'm not going to live like this, all right? If I want donuts, I'm not going to lock my phone in a gym locker and go pay cash for donuts. I've done it, but I'm not going to do it every time. God forbid I go to a store she has a coupon for. I mean, I'll be walking into the parking lot just to get a call. Don't buy anything. I have a coupon. I'm like, do you think I'm going to come home and get that coupon? Is that what you think's about to happen? I'm going to try to pay more now that you called. I don't even know if Target allows that, but I'm going to try to negotiate up on this toothpaste. You better hope they don't ask me to round up. I'm rounding up. I hate coupons so much, and she's addicted to them. She will not let me leave. Like, I got a coupon. I'm like, I just feel so stupid. I'm buying deodorant. I'm like, I don't have all the money, but I'm almost there. But I do have this coupon. One day, I hope to be able to pay full price. We are saving up as much as we can. One of the best fights we got in, the fight wasn't good, just ridiculous fight, was over the saying one fell swoop. Just over that saying. My wife and I, hold on, this is the last one. I just hear one in the background. Because you hear it from a far distance. And then it's like, he's going that way. Does it sound like he's going the other way, right? All right. Y'all are like, we don't even hear it, and I'm just up here. Just haunts me for the rest of my life. Every show, we're back and doing theaters, and I'm like, is that a helicopter? Do you guys hear a helicopter? They're like, inside the building? I'm like, yeah, do you hear it? Does everybody hear it? Everybody get down. Everybody quiet down. Is that a helicopter in this? All right. So we got in the fight over the phrase one fell swoop. Just over this saying. And if you're a newlywed, you're like, well, that doesn't make sense. You're right, it doesn't. This is a double-digit married fight. This is when you've already done all the dish fighting or the putting your clothes away fighting. This is when they're trying to mentally break you. They got you almost how they want you, and this is the one that sends it over the edge. So my wife, she wanted to go visit her parents one weekend, and her parents are divorced, and which has been hardest on me, to be honest. That's something people don't talk about, you know? When you marry into divorce, they divorced because of her, not me, so why do I have to go to 50 different houses? So she wanted to go visit her parents, and I want to do it in one fell swoop. Now, I've never heard my wife say the phrase one fell swoop. We've been together 20 years. She's never said it. And it felt like someone that day told her, hey, you should start using one fell swoop more. And she goes, I'm about to call my husband. And goes, perfect. Use it 40 to 50 times on him. So she calls me and she goes, I want to go visit my parents. And I want to do it in one fell swoop. And I go, all right, let's do it in one fell swoop. She goes, I want to do it in one fell swoop. I go, let's do it in one fell swoop. You know, let's swoop it up. I'm down. And she kept saying it, one fell swoop, one fell swoop. Over and over again. And then when she went to describe this one fell swoop trip, she goes, we'll go to my mom's, come home, then go to my dad's. And so I just waited, and she didn't say anything, and I just go, that's not what one fell swoop means. And instead of possibly just being wrong, she goes, I know what one fell swoop means. I go, yeah, it doesn't sound like you do, all right? And we have the same last name. I can't have you out there in a one fell swoop conversation. What do you think two birds, one stone mean? Let's just go through them all. I don't know if you know any of these. She hangs up on me. So I get home, and you know when you walk home when you've been in a fight, and you're like, all right, how long is this fight? Is it happening still? Is it over? I don't know. I got to fill it out, you know? She never uses words like sorry. I'd love to hear that. That's a word she definitely doesn't know what it means. And I say it all the time. I walk around the house with just a sack of sorries, just handing them out all day. I try to give her some, like, would you like to carry some of these? She's like, I don't have pockets, so I'm good. We didn't talk that whole night. We're just sitting there, our daughters, we're watching TV, eating, and I'm like, hey, you know your mom's crazy, right? And then she's like, did you do your homework, or you don't be dumb like your dad? And then your daughter's just like, are y'all lunatics? So I'm laying on the couch, and my wife just came over, and she kisses me goodnight, and then she went to bed. And that was it, you know? That was I felt like it was her sorry, I guess. But she didn't say it. And so I was laid there, and I'm just thinking about it. And you think about it a lot because you're like, all right. Because you learn the longer you get married, sometimes it's just let stuff go. You know, who cares? And the next morning I get up, and I kind of still wanted to talk about it because we didn't talk all night, you know? So I went into her. I was like, look, I got to tell you, it's just not what it means, you know? And that got it going real good. But I felt so good about this argument, you know? I thought about it all night. I was like, you got this one in the bag, man. You should bring it back up. I'm not trying to date her anymore. I'd like to win a fight. We're going to die together. I almost woke her up in her sleep. That's how much I was so excited. I almost just started shaking her going, it's not what it means. Our marriage almost ended in one fell swoop. So, all right, thank you guys so much for coming out to this. Truly appreciate it. But he sees it. his wife's like, let it go. He's like, I think I got to say something. I don't think he knows that no one's using that much ketchup. I went to a McDonald's drive-thru and my window did not roll down. That's the universe saying, give it a rest. And I fought through it. It's embarrassing because they can tell, because I had to pull, because I got to open my door. So it's going to hit the speaker, so I got to drive by it. So the car behind me is like, are you leaving? I'm like, my window don't roll down. And I got to open the door. Now the speaker's by the gas tank. So I got to yell my order out. Now that guy hears it. And then I look at McDonald's screen. Well, they got it all on the board. Just let the neighborhood know what I'm ordering. And then I drove by the window, the drive-thru window, and I got to go by it because I got to open my whole door. So I go by it, and I see them. They're like, where are you going? I was like, nowhere. And I go by, and they see my whole body sitting in a chair. It's crazy. If you've never done it, it's the most vulnerable I've ever felt in my life. You're just sitting there, and you're like, hi. They see your feet. They see your feet. They just throw it at me like a bear. Just throw it. Our family, we just eat a lot of fast food. Our family text thread, my dad texted, he was like, I found a way to get a Big Mac cheaper. And he said, you can order a double cheeseburger and ask for Big Mac sauce. So he goes, it's cheaper, and they get rid of that third bun, so it's Atkins. That's how you do it. That third bun is the one that you're like, I don't know if I need the third bun. My parents are getting older. They're not super old, but they're at the age where, you know, if they trip, they will fall to the ground. There's just an age where it happens. I mean, if I trip, my body hasn't touched the ground in 40 years. But for them, it's just, I don't know. It's like the upper is like, we're going. And the lower is like, what? And it's just, bro. And I mean, there's no like, whoa. It's just, they don't even know what's happening. They're just looking at you, and you're like, you're not feeling any of this? And they hit the ground so hard, it's like they got thrown off a roof. Everybody hears it, they're like, what's going on? I think my parents are down. I gotta get them up. My mom's got a bruise that won't go away for 2 years. I just walk ahead of them now. I'm like a Sherpa. Just let them know the terrain that we're about to hit. Got a little carpet coming up. Got a little carpet, won't go outside a little brighter than inside. Yeah, and cobblestone, you ain't gonna make that. So, lay down on the carpet. I'm gonna back the car up in the building. We had my mom go pick up our daughter recently at a friend's house, and I texted her the address, and she drove to the wrong house. She knocked on the door, another grandmother answered. Well, this is no good. This is like two dogs seeing each other through a fence.
It's gonna be hard to get them both back inside. So my mom, she goes, is my granddaughter there? And that lady goes, I have 3 grandsons. No solution. Just 2 grandmothers. You have stuff, I have stuff too. They talked for 30 minutes. It's a wrong door. I had to go get my daughter, then find my mom. And wives are the ones that keep it together the longest in a relationship. If you see an old married couple, like 80-year-old, they're 80, the wife is just, she's with it, and her husband's like, where are we at right now? Like I mean, our brains fall off a cliff, dude. Like the only reason he's out is because she's like, you better get out and let people see you a little bit. It's like some zookeeper walking some old gorilla around. Let the kids touch you. Everybody's trying to feed him. Don't feed him that. Well, I think he wants it. He definitely wants it. He's too dumb to know he can't have it. My dad goes to the hospital all the time. I mean, he has surgery 8 times a year, probably. He loves it. He loves it. The doctor will go, look, you could just stretch. And he goes, let's just do the surgery. He had surgery because he was addicted to Afrin, the nose spray. Yeah. Look, I got addicted to Afrin as well. I would honestly tell you, if you don't know what it is, I would tell you not to get involved. It's one of the best things I've ever been part of. When I was on it too, my wife was furious. I had to try to hide it from her. She could hear it from 3 blocks away, just one little puff. What's that? I ain't gonna live like this. I ain't worked this hard not to do Afrin in my own home. So my dad, they go to the doctor, him and my mom, and the doctor was like, do you use Afrin? And my dad goes, no. And the doctor was like, I can tell that you use it. I was just saying that. So he goes, how long have you used it? And my dad said 5 years, which is a lie. And my mom is like, she's like, well, tell the truth. You know, she goes, he's used it for 45 years. He used Afrin 45 years. Just for reference, if you don't know, the back of the box suggests no more than 3 days. I mean, there's not a medicine on earth that tells you to give it a good 45-year run. I think about my parents a lot because, I mean, the world is getting very futuristic. And like them, I'm from the 1900s. You gotta watch out for the 1900s, people. We're old. It's so, I mean, my great Aunt Helen from the 30s, she's deaf. They didn't know she was deaf back then. The doctors, they had no idea. They were baffled. That's how good doctors were back then. They just said, they looked at her as they smoked in her face. These were real doctors. They were like, oh no. She's rude, I'll tell you that. I mean, I think what I saw growing up, I mean, we would go watch, my dad's a magician. So we would go watch my dad do magic at the Wilson County Fair, which county fairs are great. If you've never, they're still going around. I don't think the government knows about them, but I mean, we ride these rides that were on the interstate an hour ago. So we would go watch my dad. So my dad would do magic. Right next to him, they had a donkey jumping off a high dive into a pool. So pretty hard to keep everybody's attention. When my dad is like, "Is this your card?" And everybody's like, "This donkey's about to jump off this high dive." That's something you don't think you want to see till it's up there. And I use the word jump very loosely. These donkeys are falling off this high dive. But you can't put that on the sign, you know? You don't watch a donkey fall off a high dive? No? Okay. What if he jumped? Well, at least he's into it. So the donkey would go up this ramp like 40 feet in the air, and it would just stand there because it doesn't want to jump. It's not in on this. So, but it gets stuck because donkeys can't walk backwards. Not positive if that is true, but I've never seen a donkey go backwards. I've never even really looked, but I honestly think 45 years I would have seen a couple donkeys go backwards. So the donkey stays there, and he sends a dog up the ramp. It barks at the donkey, and the donkey jumps in the pool. And as someone that has seen this, I'll tell you, when that donkey hits the water, you're like, we should probably get out of here. It's not as fun as you thought it would be. I mean, this is going to sound dumb, but you're really surprised you're seeing what the sign said you would see. PETA got a hold of that. They shut it down, and that was one I think everybody was like, fair enough, we get that. Another one PETA had to shut down. This was, again, like the 1980s. I was alive. You could fight an orangutan at a fair. They would have an orangutan just sitting in a boxing ring, and guys would pay to fight it. And I say guys because I just can't imagine one woman ever fought this orangutan. I think you could put an orangutan in a room with 1,000 women. And when they walked out, they're like, did anybody fight it? Like, it never crossed their mind to fight it. Put 3 men in that room. 2 of those men will fight that orangutan. The other one would have started it going, I think y'all should fight that orangutan. So guys get in there, and they're like, all right, we'll go fight this orangutan. And the orangutan would just knock everybody out. Because we don't have the internet to look up how strong's an orangutan. It's all word of mouth back then. You had to meet a guy to just fought an orangutan. And you're like, but the arms are